We haven't done a cold open in a while, but that's okay. Some other time.
FX presents the Indu Podcast with your host, T. Sterling Watson.
Good morning, Indubians. I'm T. Sterling Watson.
And I'm Kortney.
This is the Indu Podcast, where morning drive time meets late night talk show as we aim to entertain, enlighten, and provide an auditory escape with knowledge and nonsense. Thank you so much for stopping by and pressing play. Sorry, I almost died a little bit.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm here. This is, I think it's episode 118. Yes, 118. Is it? Yes, because I currently have this thing on Headliners app, which takes little clips of the show and kind of makes little clips for me, so I don't have to go through and look for them, and then I can post them online. So
nice.
So other people can get a little taste of what the show is. But unfortunately, some of the clips they've been pulling haven't really shown a great dynamic of what the show is. Like, it's taking the most random bits, even though we are kind of random and all over the place. But yeah, it'll get better, I'm sure. But how are you?
I'm great. How are you doing?
I am a little, I'm good, but I just cleaned up the tears because I just finished, or actually we both just finished watching The Good Place, the series finale. And what we're going to do, we're going to talk about it, but you, dear listener, if you have not listened to it yet, or not listened to it, if you haven't watched it yet and you want to see it and don't want to be spoiled, we are going to talk about it at the end of the show. So, yes.
Yeah.
So, let us continue with our regular programming. It's been quite a couple of weeks, actually. But we're just going to focus on the happy things. First of all, I do want to talk about how there's the dilemma that I have of buying dog food. I know it's completely random, but it's like the most recent thing besides The Good Place that's happened to me today. And I'm not sure if other people experience this. Probably not. Probably just me. But I have to keep reminding myself that dogs don't care about the food as much as like people do, and they make it all appetizing on the bag, like, oh, these are little steak shaped, or they look like, little like chicken things, and they're all excited about all the different food flavors. And how do you even know it tastes like certain vegetables, or it tastes like peanut butter or chicken? I mean, are there actually humans testing this food to see, like, yep, I taste a hint of chicken? This is, other than the fact that that's what's being put into the kibbles, I don't know. Is the flavor really there? Does it really taste like it? These are thoughts that I have, and then I'm standing in the pet aisle for a good few minutes just comparing, and then it usually comes down to price. But then I'm also like, I do want to make sure that Chief is eating well and not just eating just like, I guess it's bad if it's mostly grain. Like, why? Like, as long as he eats it, I'm pretty much happy. But I also want to enjoy it. So yeah, I don't know.
Well, yeah, that's a good question. I don't know. He's probably eating because he, like, for survival. I don't know how much the enjoyment there is. So, I'm with you. I don't know.
Oh, and by the way, I've tried several brands and just different like varieties, and it's funny because anytime I give him a new one, he'll take to it immediately and start eating some of it. But then after a while, like, oh, it's the same old food, so whatever. And Chief is very picky anyway, so he does not like the wet food at all. So we've tried giving him the canned stuff a couple times, and like, no, I don't want that. Then there's actually only one food that I would get, like, from New York, like it's a jar. And it was like mashed potatoes and peas and I think turkey or something. And I think because it was like mostly like real food, but like cooked so, dogs could eat it, he would eat that and loved it. So I put it in his bowl and he'd eat immediately. But I'm not driving to New York just to get, a couple jars of this stuff. So
yeah.
And I mean, I only got it because I was working out there at the time and I happened to find a pet store and I'm like, okay, let me try this. But I mean, he liked it. So he also, there's these hickory sticks, which I loved, but that's, again, not a reason for me to go out there and get that just for him because he's picky. Bought him some new milk bones today and he is picky with those too. I'm like, what is wrong with you? Why are you like this? Just eat the stuff I give you. But I'm also happy that he's not a dog who would just eat everything and just devour all the food because so that could be bad for dogs. So
yeah,
he eats when he's hungry. So I'll put it that way.
Yeah.
But,
well, life is easy for a dog, or simple, I should say.
Yeah, I envy his lifestyle sometimes because he'll wake up when I do, go to the bathroom, come back in the house, and go in his bed in the living room, and then, or maybe the bed at the top of the stairs. But it's usually between one of those two beds, and then when I come back home, then it's the bed in my bedroom, and it's like, I've had such a long day of sleeping in this bed. I need to go sleep in this other bed now, and that is his life. And
yep,
it's a good one. He lives a good life. And he's still currently wearing his Cowboys jersey right now. Just because we haven't taken it off him yet. He's still in the football mode because it was Super Bowl Sunday. And even though the Cowboys weren't playing, I kind of was rooting for the Chiefs because of Chief. But I felt there was some kind of weird dynamic going on because his name being Chief and he's wearing a Cowboys shirt. And it was like that whole Cowboys and Indians thing. I don't know. Thought there was something there, some kind of irony, but you were just upset about him wearing a Cowboys jersey. So
yes,
it's
I don't know, I don't understand why.
Well, as I told you, this is a Cowboys household. So,
but here's the thing: there's really no good answer to that question. Also, so
of what?
there's nothing you can the answer you just gave me is just not acceptable.
I mean, I grew up as a Cowboys fan. I mean, how do I feel about them now? I don't really I feel like I don't really associate with the team as much these days. But Cowboys, I guess, become my default because that's what I was raised on. My parents are diehard Cowboys fans. They went to the stadium, took pictures, on the field. I mean, I don't know if they both have secondary teams, in case the Cowboys get knocked off in the playoffs or something. And then they just happen to, because my mom, she likes the Seahawks that's her second team. And you're okay with that? You're fine with that? That's good.
Yeah. Seahawks are okay.
Okay. I don't know if my dad has one, but yeah, that Cowboys definitely. So that's theirs. Then the other team, not necessarily in this household, but in the Gibbs household, my sister and brother-in-law, they are. Well, actually, I don't know about my sister, but the Eagles. So we hear about them all the time. I don't have any objection to that either. What is your team? I think I may have asked you before, but I don't remember.
Honestly, I don't really have a team that I'm a supporter of my friends' teams. I just know of ones that I do not like, which is the Patriots and the Cowboys.
Well, we can agree about the Patriots.
Will grow. Yeah, I'm sure that list will grow, but that's really my long-standing, diehard, I don't like you.
I can agree with the Patriots not liking them. I think I only liked them from 1 year, and I'm like, I don't really like you anymore. And then I had legitimate reasons not to like them. So that's kind of where I stand. So don't care for them. Then I just have questions about other teams sometimes, like the Browns. That's really your name? What is your mascot? And, I'm sure I can just Google this and find out the information as to why they're called the Browns and if they even have a mascot, what it looks like. Because right now I don't know. I just imagine just a chocolate M&M, like a regular brown M&M, just dancing around. So I have no idea. So nobody tell me. Nobody tell me. I tell that, I say that, I tweet it when I don't really want an answer, and yet people cannot comprehend reading, and they will still tell me. This has happened numerous times. Like, I think I may have mentioned it before about how I did not know the names of the other members of Migos. Like, I only knew of Offset, and then other people, oh, the other ones are blah blah. It's like, I specifically said you not tell me. Sorry, a little bit of venting there.
Yeah. Reading comprehension, not a thing.
Not a thing. The same thing happened with Captain Marvel. I didn't want to know anything about it, and like, let me watch the movie. I want to learn only from the movie. And then someone decided to tweet me the entire story of like,
oh no,
who she is, where she came from.
No, that's just wrong.
Yeah, that kind of activity gets you blocked. You're lucky I didn't block you, but you know.
Like, why are you like this?
Why? Speaking of Migos and music, the Grammys also happened. So I watched a couple bits here and there. What was I also watching at the same time? There's something else on that I was watching while the Grammys were on. So I only got to see bits and pieces. And I still don't even know entirely of who all the winners are, other than Billie Eilish, which I'm excited for. Like, good for her, because I do enjoy her music. And I'll have to go back and actually listen to her entire album again, because I remember when it came out, I listened to it. I'm like, okay, I like some songs here and there. But yeah, I'm happy for her. Lizzo got some wins, so happy for her too. Good stuff. There's something specific about the Grammys. I can't remember what it was, but that happened. I also got to see Parasite, and I really enjoyed that movie. So I will also attest to this, because there are some people who bring up the whole fact about it being subtitled. And after a while, and it doesn't happen often, but like for this movie, it's one of those movies where you don't even realize you're reading the subtitles anymore. So but I think that might be that way for me for most foreign movies. But really this one, because there's so much going on during like the last half of the movie, which I'm not going to spoil here, because it definitely is worth watching, and I really hope it sweeps the Oscars. So it's all the hype that you've been hearing. It checks out. It's legit. So if you can see it in theaters, I do recommend it, because it's good. I mean, how could it not be? It's the guy who brought us Snowpiercer and Okja.
Right.
So.
I still think about Snowpiercer. It's just, and I mean, that's honestly my only movie I've seen of this director, but it was so good. So, like, what's the word? It impressed me and impacted me, I guess.
It surprised me, I think, of how good it was. I'm not surprised. Okay, that's not the word I want either, but impressed me. Okay, I'll go with that too. Because I think I just maybe the first time I watched it, I just kind of put it on thinking like, okay, let's see what this is about, whatever. And it really brought me in. Like, you're right. I think I still think about it too. Like, I still think about what they were eating. Sometimes I confuse it with Soylent Green, but which I know it isn't. They were eating something else. But I still think of that. And plus, it's right that we are thinking about it, not just because of the director, but because of the series that's coming out based on the show. And
yeah, I'm still interested in how that's gonna go.
Right, like if it's
how, I don't know, like just how is that gonna go? I thought the story was wrapped up, and I don't know, just curious as to how that's gonna go.
I'm wondering too. I don't know if they'll just retell the movie, but like be able to stretch it out so we spend more time maybe in each car or with more of the characters. I don't know. I
mean, they did it with Limitless, and I've heard that's a pretty good show. So
right.
I don't know.
I don't know how many seasons that was around, but I stuck around for like a couple episodes of the first season just to see how it was going. I'm like, okay, I could see this working. I'm going to check out of it now, but not because I didn't like it. It's just my TV quota, how that works. So I already had too much going on. So I'm like, one day maybe I'll come back to this and, see where it went. And I'm glad that Bradley Cooper was still involved. He still popped up every once in a while in the series. So that was cool. I don't foresee that happening with this show, but
no. Chris is too busy.
Yes, a little too busy. Just still being awesome and whatnot and wearing sweaters. So, do what he does. Can we get a little bit of breaking news? Speaking of David Diggs, Hamilton. I know it's actually old news for us because we stay on top of these things, but just in case you have not heard, and I don't know how you couldn't, it was even on my local news yesterday. That's how big of a deal this is. But Hamilton is coming to a theater near you next year. So
Woo-hoo! So exciting.
I am so excited too. Like, I'm already ready to just block off like the calendar for like a week, just in case I want to go see it a couple times. Seriously though, and this is also kind of breaking news, I would love if like there could be some kind of event, like how like if like the Baltimore buddies got together or something, we all went to go see it. Like we hung out for like that weekend just to hang out, but also there to see the movie. Something, to that effect. I don't know if all of them are into Hamilton like that, but but a group of us, we got together in a selected city and hung out for that weekend, or like a HamilCon or something. I don't know. I'm just spitballing, but
yeah,
I feel like that would be cool. And we have a year and a half to kind of prepare for it. So
yeah,
just throwing it out there.
Yes, I'm down. I mean, I feel like this is a huge thing, and we should celebrate together. So
right,
in some way.
And in some way, basically, I would really, Kortney, I just really want to watch it with you, since we've kind of grown to enjoy this and love this together. Like who else could I watch? I mean, there's definitely other people I could watch it with. Yes.
Right.
But you're one who I think once I discovered the greatness, I'm not sure if it was me that shared it with you, but the fact that we bonded over it for so many years since it's been released.
Pretty sure it was you. I'm pretty sure it was you. And then I was able to it was still fairly new to you, I think. And then, but you were able to relive it through me, and it was amazing.
This is true.
Because I think you had been trying to get me to listen to it for a little while, as you do.
Yes, I do.
And then, and then I finally did, and it was the rest, as they say, is history.
Mm-hmm. In that form, at that.
Yeah.
So.
So thanks.
You're very welcome. And this just goes to show you that I have not steered you wrong. When I recommend things to you, they usually work out pretty well. So yeah.
True. You're right. I'll give you that.
And I'm upfront about things too. Like this is really good. Or if it's something that's terrible, I'll let you know this is terrible, but you need to watch it, and then we can laugh about how terrible it is. However, you did beat me to A Fall from Grace. You watched it before I did.
Yes, I did.
But
why I did.
I feel like that is a primer for Acrimony, which we still one day will watch. Because
are we going to watch it?
Sometime. We were supposed to do it last week, but I had already forgotten, or things just didn't line up. I had to go catch a mouse. That's another story. But different from the Squishy saga. This happened at someone else's house. So yeah. But Acrimony will happen. Someday The Room will happen. And I'm going to make another crazy weird segue, because our fellow, I'm calling him an unpaid intern. There might be another term we'll come up with later, but Berto, who's been a big help to the show because he keeps supplying things for us to talk about. He is also another person who thoroughly enjoys terrible movies. Cats is another movie, by the way. Yes, that you one day will watch. And
am I?
You should. I know you don't want to pay for it. So we'll have to figure out a way.
I don't want to pay for it. I'm not going to pay for that garbage.
So if it does come on some kind of streaming service, then that's probably one way you will watch it.
Being recorded, huh?
Yes. Yeah. Just waiting for a confirmation.
I will watch it then. Yes.
Okay, cool. Fantastic. So I put a note on this day.
Oh,
Kortney
gosh.
said yes, she will watch Cats on a streaming service provided she does not have to pay for the experience of watching it, not for the service, because you're already paying for that, maybe, depending on what the service is. I hope it's Hulu because...
Well, gosh. Lord have mercy, what did I just do?
Are you trying to throw a caveat in there already?
Well, no.
Okay. Very well.
No.
Very well. Which does remind me, I do have another video I have to send to you guys, but I'll do that later. But yes, there's something else I was going to mention regarding Berto. But yeah, we'll have to find a term for him because he is definitely an Ndubian, friend of the show, unpaid intern of sorts. I also want to give a shout out to I want to say a paid intern, but Southern Cynic, who has helped out in the past. We did a clip episode a while ago, and she was a great help to that. So I just wanted to give her another shout out for helping me with that.
Thank you.
Yes. And to all those people who listened to the last episode, because I got some feedback from that, and they really enjoyed our review, or rather our analysis of A Fall from Grace. So... Which
You're welcome, everybody.
You're very much welcome. We did the work. We watched the movie, so you didn't have to, but I almost feel like you still should, maybe. I did watch it with Ashley, who hated it immensely. So,
well, because she has good taste in good movies.
This is correct.
Ooh, did I say that?
I mean, you're not wrong.
I mean, it wasn't terrible. That's the bad thing. It just...
Right.
It wasn't terrible, just wasn't good.
I love how that came a whisper. But you're not wrong. And I actually spoke to someone else who had seen it, and we were just kind of listing off stuff we already talked about on the podcast, but he brought it to another he's another photographer, so he found other lighting issues and composition issues and just things that a experienced director who should have known not to do, or even story wise, because he was the story isn't bad, even though it is almost like the same as Acrimony or very similar to it. But I mean, again, it would just benefit if you knew some other, or you had some other writers, or you consulted some lawyers or policemen on how they do their jobs. I know only enough to kind of get by, but it's not a passing it's just a passing knowledge of stuff, but it's not good enough to catch mistakes. But I wondered about that. I wondered about the validity of the things that they were doing. Right, because there was a lot. Even watching it the second time, I'm like, wow, there's
you watched it again?
I had to watch it with Ashley in order so she could see it.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah. And there were things that you and I talked about that I wanted to go back to see. Some of it I probably still miss because who was it? I think one of my other friends who had watched it, and he took about 3 times because he kept falling asleep. So I think I was having that issue too. It's oh, I remember this, and I fell asleep. So,
yeah.
But at the same time, I was seeing things being set up. I'm like, okay, I see what you're trying to do, but do better. So, yeah. Yeah. That wasn't even on my notes to discuss. What I wanted to say.
And yet, here it is.
Right, here it is. Because that was a strange way to celebrate my birthday. We didn't watch it on my birthday. It was during my birthday week. I didn't go to work. Took the week off. That's how I saw Parasite. I also saw Bad Boys for Life, which was also good and, a little heartfelt. I didn't feel like, crying or anything, but,
Sure.
It was good.
Yeah.
But a question I may have asked before, but I'm going to ask it again, but how long do you hold on to birthday cards?
So that's a good question. Currently, I do not have an end date. I keep them all. Now, I have them organized in such a way where I have a special place for them. But because I don't throw them away, they're starting to gather space. And now, I don't have, well, and I may still have them, but I used to have lots of cards from 10 years or more ago. The ones I'm thinking of now are probably within, well, they may be the 10 year. I don't know. So basically never is my answer.
Oh, okay. and that's fine.
Yeah.
This is a question I will also open up to, listeners to get back at us. And how long do you hold on to birthday cards? It came up because I'm actually going through some of the mail, and I did get a couple birthday cards, and I still have some from the last few, I think every card that you sent me, Kortney, I think I still have. And shout out to Magdalena, because she's actually the most recent birthday card I've received. And I know I have hers. I just don't know where they are, because I keep boxes around, and usually they're sometimes they're separated by birthday things. Sometimes they're separated by the sender. So they're around, or sometimes just in a group of piles of papers that I don't want to throw away. So they're somewhere in there. So I'm kind of with you where I don't really want to throw them away, especially if there's messages that are written in them. Hey, it's been a great year, or, it's been, I love that thing that event that we went to, or whatever. I don't know. There's something, whatever sentimental messages left in there makes me want to hold on to it, rather than just have a great birthday and that's it.
Yeah. I think I feel that way too. If there's, I'm more apt to keep something if it has an actual message, because, or I don't know, that just puts an extra touch on there that I appreciate, because when I give cards, I tend to write whole messages in books, and I don't know, it just makes it more, it just makes it more personalized, and because I take the time to pick the cards that I feel fits the person. So I also like to write a specialized message, so those types of cards will always outlast anything else that's a little bit less sentimental. Sorry, everybody who just wrote happy birthday on my card. Thank you for the card, though.
Right. I definitely, I do appreciate the thought and sentiment. Normally what I'll do, as soon as I receive it and see what it is, I'll try to at least text that person, hey, I got your card. Thank you very much. I love you too. And that way I feel like that transaction has completed. So I don't know, it's up in the air what you do after that. So I don't know. I don't have a segue for this. I didn't really pick a word watch, but I wanted to use the word affectation, but affectation is not the word to describe my naming of inanimate objects. It's just something I do. And because I actually had to look it up, wait, affectation doesn't mean what I think it means. And the correct definition of affectation, which is behavior, speech, or writing that is artificial and designed to impress. And my naming of my laptops or my soft pants, it's not really to impress anyone. It's just something that I like to say, just, for my own benefit, I guess. And yes, I've named my soft pants because I'm actually copying an idea from a show that is no longer with us. The great show Happy Endings that was on ABC for a couple of years. The character Brad, expertly played by, oh my God, I forgot his first name. But he's a Wayans, but he's the next generation Wayans.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah, I know. Why is his first name just Damon Wayans Jr.? There it is. So on the show, he's got a pair of soft pants. They're, I guess, just lounge wear, but he named them Karen. And I'm like, that's a great idea. So
that's a great name.
Yeah. So I've actually got 3 pairs of soft pants, and one is my first pair. It's named Jessica, and the pair I'm wearing right now is Veronica. And then I've got another one. I think it's Beatrice. Don't care as much for Beatrice, but Beatrice is a lighter texture, but Beatrice doesn't have any pockets. So I'm not a fan, but I will still wear Beatrice. So
So they are ladies' names?
They are ladies' names. I'm only following suit because that's what the character of Brad had, a lady's name for his pants. So, I'm just following suit.
Okay.
So in case any of these names ever pop up in the future, like, oh, I got to go find Jessica. So people aren't wondering, like, what's happening? So, yeah. But those are the most recent inanimate objects that I've named. I usually name my laptop because, it asks you to. When you set up the laptop, it says, what do you want to name this? So got to put a name in there.
That's true. Got to put a name in there.
I haven't been naming my phones. I used to, but yep, those don't have names yet. I don't think I will, though. But yeah, that's mostly it nowadays. Just the computers and pants, soft pants. Because regular work pants, I don't think they'd get a name. Maybe my work pants are named Earl, just because it just seems like a work name. Just, I don't know.
That is a work name. You're right. Seems very workish.
Right. Like someone you just meet like in the hallway and he's drinking coffee, or, Earl, rah, 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 and just getting ready to start the day.
Yeah.
I see Earl being a big burly person, handlebar mustache and barely shaven because he's just gruff. And like, this is how I get through my day, is just rah, rah, rah. So
yeah.
Earl. There. I just named my work pants. They're Earl. Earl has a hole. I need to go get new work pants.
Yeah, fix Earl, please. Especially if the hole is not in a favorable position.
I don't think it is.
Not that holes are ever really favorable, but there's better places than others to have holes in your pants.
This is true. This is true. I just want the holes that are supposed to be there, mostly to get my legs through. But as long as those work, I'm good. So. Again, I have no segue, so we're just going to transition into the Spookum Zone. I've got a story that I found this morning. Actually, no, I think it found me because Google just sent it to me. So I'm like, ooh, this is interesting. I'm not going to read the whole entire article, but I will put it in the show notes. And the History Channel will cover an infamous tri-state UFO encounter. That's the headline. At first, now we go into storytelling mode. So snuggle in, get close, turn the lights out. Turn your lights off.
They are not, because I scare too easily. So I'm not going to do this to myself. I told you, I live alone. I need to protect my mental health.
All right. Well, before I continue, let me just tell you now, do not watch that documentary, Don't F with Cats. So
yeah, is that scary or is it just creepy or what?
I'll tell you this much. It's 3 episodes. I'm only 2 episodes in. I was pretty creeped out by the middle of the second episode. And I was actually watching it. I was watching it with Ashley, but we were both equally creeped out. Like she was telling, we already decided to watch Happy Things after we finished that episode. And then I was going to try to finish because, as you and I are, we're completionists. So once you start something, you have to finish it. And I kind of knew where her mind was going because she had asked me, like, can you just look up this guy to see like if they caught him? Like, if he's, what's the status? So I kind of picked up on that vibe, like, okay, she's creeped out. She needs to know where this guy is. So it's creepy. I'll say that much. And because like there are some real sick people in this world. So yeah. Don't watch it, especially if you're, living alone.
Yeah. I didn't know enough about it, but from what I'm hearing, it's basically what you just said. And I'm like, okay, well, this was not for me, and that's okay.
Right. And
not a target audience.
And I know how it ends, but I don't really know like how it ends through the documentary. So.
So, you didn't watch it, finish it?
I didn't finish it yet. I was going to, but then Ashley was like, no, I want to watch it too. So I'm like, okay. So,
gotcha.
So it's on pause, so to watch the last episode, and hopefully we can try to watch it during the daylight hours, and then have plenty of time to like fill in with like cartoons and happy things, because that's what we tried to do after we finished, but it still wasn't quite enough because we were still kind of terrified throughout the rest of the night. So yeah, or not terrified, but just uneasy, and
Yeah, and that's sometimes, I don't know, I think that's sometimes more like impactful than terrified, like outright scared. Just
right.
because if it's creepy, you can't quite pinpoint it, and you can't quite, it's just different. It's a different type of feeling,
Right. And I'm not one that likes being scared. I don't watch scary movies specifically for that reason, but I do have that mild curiosity in like the true crime area, and
I do too. Yeah.
This was the first time that it legit creeped me out. Like, this is a bit much for me, and that's saying something. Which actually makes me wonder, and we'll have to check in with a past guest. Why am I blanking? But Crime in Color host, Kiara. See if she has checked it out and if she has any thoughts. But
I'm sure she has.
I will follow up with her to see if she has seen it and finished it, because I have not. But it was grouped in with a bunch of other documentaries. I wish I remember the post or where I saw it or heard it, but they talked about that one. They talked about the I think it was Aaron Hernandez, and there was one other one. I watched the Aaron Hernandez one mostly because he lives in Connecticut, and it wasn't a reason to dislike the Patriots, but that didn't help them or my like for them.
Right. Well, that was a really interesting documentary. It's very sad, but it is so good, and it sheds a lot of light on a lot of things. And and
I liked how it actually.
Sad, though.
It is very sad, but I did like how it really did give you both sides. Like, they weren't excusing him for his behavior, but they also said this could possibly be the reason why. So
exactly.
But yeah, that was
yeah. I agree with you on that one. It was nice to see, not nice, but it was good to see that there was possibly an explanation, and still just like nobody won in that situation. So that's
right.
The sad part about it.
Right. I agree. But none of that was the Spookums zone stuff. But even though Don't F with Cats is spooky, creepy. But this is Spookums, so let's do that.
Okay.
So right, I gave you all that time to turn your lights off. Hopefully they're off now. I know you live alone. At first, it looked like a monkey, maybe even an old man. But the more Glennie Langford stared, the more she realized it was something much weirder. The figure toddled through the darkness. It was no more than 3 feet tall, with 2 eyes that shined from the far edges of its head. And good Lord, was it covered in metal? Or was it that aluminum foil? Langford was one of several people who spotted the creature out the window of a cramped Bell, Kentucky farmhouse on the night of August 21st, 1955. There was John Sutton and his brother Elmer, their wives, O.P. Baker, Billy Taylor, and a gaggle of children, and all of them were growing increasingly tense. Earlier in the evening, the kids had noticed eerie circles of light hovering above the home, and right before the figure appeared, some of the adults thought they'd seen something plummet out of the sky and cannonball into a nearby field. Some said it looked like a shimmering bathtub. Others, though, claimed it resembled a flying saucer. They were startled to wonder if that's where this sawed-off little grunt had come from when they realized their problems had multiplied, literally. The figure was now joined by an army of tiny monsters who rose from the weeds and swarmed around the house, pressing their grotesque faces against the windows. One of the men charged out of the house and immediately felt something seize him by the hair. Langford fainted. Children screamed, and Sutton's had enough. They grabbed a 12-gauge shotgun and a .22 pistol and opened fire. Lead lashed across the once quiet farmland, causing the creatures to scatter. But according to the Suttons, they could have just stood still because the bullets just bounced off them. Several law enforcement agencies from the nearby Hopkinsville Police and the U.S. Air Force investigated the encounter, in the coming weeks. All of them dismissed it as nothing more than fantasy. I think it was imagination that built up from the talk they got among the people. Christian County Sheriff Deputy George Bates said, "They just got themselves worked up over nothing." But what's now known as the Kelly Hobson's encounter has become an infamous story among alien fanatics. Proof to them that extraterrestrials have visited this planet. And later this month, it will be the subject of a popular television show. Project Blue Book on the History Channel. And they will devote a whole entire episode to this on February 11th. I may possibly check it out. Then again, this is a series I think I wanted to just check out in general. So we'll see, because it sounds a little interesting. They describe it as the X-Files meets Mad Men. So
interesting stuff.
Yeah, there's more to this article. It's much, much longer, but I will post it in its entirety. And where's this from? I'm not sure, but I have 3 free articles left. So I have to be careful. So, and actually I used 2 of them already, because one of them came up through the Google thing. And then the second time is when I actually opened it through the browser. So lies and cheats. So yeah. Lastly, is this last on my list here? I think it's last, but Black History Month.
Black History.
Black History.
Black History. Black History. Facts.
Is full
now.
Yes, it's in full effect. However, I decided, as I look for my other notes, to ask you if you were aware of Negro History Week.
No.
Okay.
Didn't it start out as Negro History Week?
It did.
Yeah.
As of 1926. And this was brought to us by a historian by the name of Carter G. Woodson, a dapper young black man. In trying to see what school. Thought I said a school, but the week in question, well, it's not even in question, but the week he chose included the birthday of Abraham Lincoln and the birthday of Frederick Douglass, who were born 2 days apart, February 12th and February 14th, respectively. So what he did was he established that with other historians, and they got together and issued literature that they'd put out in schools, those predominantly with black children, so that way they could learn more about their history. The churches also got involved, because that's, again, where a lot of black folk kind of gathered and got information about things that needed to be known. So that is pretty much how it started, and it stayed that. I don't want to say it stayed that way, but they enjoyed it so much that it became an annual event. And eventually, in the 70s, I believe it was 1970, is when it actually became to be adopted into a whole month. And that started here, of course, in America, and then it went over to Canada, and then I think the UK. And what I didn't know is Ireland does it too, also in February. So
I didn't know that.
That started actually 10 years ago, in 2010. So they also observe Black History Month.
Good. Excellent.
So that was just a little bit of that there. I was going to read more, but I'm like, just tell you what I read and, sum it up that way. So yeah, that is Negro History Week. That is your Black History fact for this episode. Because I figured, I was like, well, we do Black History every episode, so how is this going to be a little different? Because, as you and I believe, Black History is all year long. But
it is.
But I definitely do enjoy celebrating it with everyone else, and just celebrating our blackness. Like I love my blackness. And yours.
Definitely something to be celebrated.
And I love seeing us win and be great and be excellent. So, yay.
Me too.
I literally glow when I just, see things. Okay. I say literally, even though I know I am not bioluminescent, but Sometimes
You're
you
not?
just.
Wow.
Are you? Have you?
I am actually.
And you,
I'm surprised you're not. It's just weird.
I have. Why haven't you shown me this? Are
You haven't
you?
asked.
I mean, I don't think I should have to. I thought we were friends. You should just like,
I mean, we're all right, I guess.
hey, look at this thing I can do.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll talk about it off air.
I'm
We
wounded.
don't need to air our dirty laundry.
We don't have to, but like these emotions are raw. Like I just
Aw.
watched the Good Place finale. Like I'm still like sensitive.
You're right. And you're going to be feeling really raw for a while just because, oh my gosh, the feels on that show, it's like the Flash. You go there to cry and to feel things. And they do not fail to deliver. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Man, that's going to be crazy whenever that show ends.
Ugh, I don't want to talk about it. No.
Well, we don't have to.
Crying.
We don't have to.
Okay.
They already got renewed for another season, so we're good.
Oh, good.
We're good. We're fine.
Good. Everything's fine.
You do need to watch that crossover though. It's pretty good.
Oh, well, I'm still. That's true. I'm waiting for it to stream. It ain't streaming yet.
Oh, okay. Well, okay.
So I may be waiting for another like year or whatever, but it's okay.
Well, if you got the CW app, you could watch it there.
But I don't think that all the season is there. They normally take them down after a certain time.
That could be. I didn't look that far because I thought like the new episode came out and I hadn't seen it yet, and I was looking for it. And I'm like, oh, maybe it hasn't come out yet because I was looking and yeah.
Yeah, not there.
To just be a little late. Well, hey, at least with the Good Place you caught up, so we were able to talk about that.
So glad about it. Ugh.
There are other shows which I thought about today, but I don't. You already said we're not airing our dirty laundry, so I'm not going to put you on blast for not.
Thank you.
Seeing certain shows, Mr. Robot, and yeah. So before we wrap up, I think I probably put the ad in here already in this particular episode, but I definitely want to recommend that you all who are trying to get financially fit like me do check out the following apps: Acorns, Stash, what's the other one? Digit. They are great ways to save money and also invest. So that way, I just looked at today and I've only been on the app for like a couple months. And I already had to take a couple money. Well, had to take some money out for like emergencies, but at the same time, put some back. And it's pretty good. And I like the way it works. And it's like forcing you to save. So it's because they'll just take the money out.
Which one are you specifically talking about that forces you to save?
Basically all three, because like with Acorns, what that will do, it'll take whenever you spend using like maybe your debit card or whatever, it'll take like the remaining change and throw it, in this little thing, until it gets like $5. Then it'll put it into your investment portfolio thing. I think Stash does the same thing, but you can also set up to automatically take out maybe $5 or $5 to put towards a stock that you can invest into, or stocks, plural. Which you don't have to know anything about stocks, and I don't, but I'm learning. The other thing that Stash will do is you can pay for things such as I pay for Netflix, Spotify, and Hulu through my Stash account, because it also works as a bank account, and you can just put money to spend, and they will give you money back for that. And they'll put it right back in your account, which is nice. So I've gotten at least like $5 back already, just from paying bills that I would normally already pay.
Yeah. Right.
So it's pretty sweet. And as for Digit, they will just take out money and set it aside and separate it like accounts within the app, such as for retirement, for vacation, emergency fund, rainy day fund, or anything else you set up. And almost like every day they'll take out like a little bit of money, maybe like $5, or even if your bank account that it's drawing from is a little low, they'll put some money back in there just to keep you safe. So a little cushion, if you will. So yeah. So definitely check out the ad somewhere within this episode, and you can use the links to set up, because if you set up using my links, they will give you $5 and actually throw me a little $5 too. So it's all good. Everybody
Nice.
wins. So
Everybody wins.
do check those out.
The Indu Podcast.
Want free money? Of course you do. Want to save some money? You know you need to. Hey friend, I can help you do both. And if you're really ambitious, I can help you thrice. It's 2020 and it's time to get financially fit. Save and invest. And I've been on a few apps watching my money grow and work for me. And I want that for you too. So if you sign up for Acorns, Stash, or Digit with my links, you'll get $5 in your account to start. That's $5 for Acorns, $5 for Stash, and $5 for Digit. After linking your bank account, these accounts will take a few dollars after every transaction or on a set schedule to save or put into a stock portfolio. I know nothing about stocks, and you don't need to either. But hey, I'm learning. That's Digit at j.mp/digitandoob, or to get Stash, j.mp/stashandoob, or Acorns at j.mp/acornsandoob. So check out any of my links and let's get our lives together.
And now we're going to talk about it. Yeah, so I got a little weepy. I wasn't exactly sure how. I mean, I didn't know had no idea how it was going to end, nor did I expect to get weepy. I was a little surprised by that. And I always hear the cast members say, "Oh yeah, we got sad because we're wrapping everything up." And I get that because when you're working on a show, it feels like family. So I get that. But were you satisfied by this ending?
Oh man, so satisfied. It was. I of course weep because I weep at most things, and I typically, especially with well done series finales, I tend to, get a little weepy. But with this show, it was some ugly thug crying going on. And it was just so perfect. Perfect is the best way I can describe it. It was the perfect ending to a very near perfect show, in my opinion. And it was just really well done.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Didn't see it coming, so I was pleased with that too.
Right. Oh, and we were having a discussion via text message, like how long this episode was, because you were watching it, I guess, online.
Hulu.
Hulu. Okay. I had it DVR'd, so the reason why mine was 90 minutes long is because they had a post show where they talked to the cast afterwards. So,
man.
Yeah. But hey, I haven't watched it because I'm like, hey, we got to do the show. And, my emotions are fresh and a little raw right now. So let's just get in and, talk about it. So I'll, probably watch it later. I didn't delete anything. But I think for me, I think what started it was Chidi and Eleanor, kind of saying their goodbyes, or even Chidi even realizing, first of all, that, it was time for him to go. And then them kind of just talking about it, realizing, hey, I got to go. And even her requesting to say how to say goodbye. Oh, feeling choked up already again. Asking her or asking him to say goodbye before he actually leaves, like the next morning, and then him leaving a calendar, which I thought was funny. Like this show has been so great at just mixing,
following through.
Following through, but also just blending like the comedy with these sentimental moments. It was just like just the right touch, but it's still just so within the realm of this world that they created. So it's just a great job. Yes, I still hold it together.
Yeah, it was during Jason's reveal that I was just like, oh God, this is how. And then I figured that that's how everybody would go, but I knew that the writers would surprise me somehow, and so they did. And because, a little bit of a caveat is I have caught up on the last 3 episodes today, because I always try to, watch for them when they pop up on Hulu, but I don't always, sometimes time just slips away. So I was 3 episodes behind. I was able to really get, I was able to really see, I don't know. I guess I could kind of see the ending a little bit clearer because in the episode before the last one, they talked about how basically they solved Paradise's problem, which was that it goes on forever, and then your brain turns to mush because you get sick of the same old, same old.
Mm-hmm.
And so they solve that problem by saying, you can choose when, or you can go, you can leave Paradise and actually like end it and actually die, because that's where the true meaning of life and the afterlife apparently lies. And so I kind of saw that come in with when Jason, he was talking to Janet and Janet kind of figured it out, and I was like, oh God, this is, oh no, he's leaving. He's actually leaving. And, and then I figured everybody else would kind of go through their own cycle of doing the same thing. But like I said, the writers really did a great job of still throwing in twists and turns and not making the ending super clear or super rather easy to figure out. Still kept us interested. So I don't know, just very, very well done. So sad, and I cried. The only person I didn't really cry on was Tahani because of what happened with her. But it just I'm getting choked up now. It's just so good.
I mean, I will say she had a good ending as well, where, I mean, it's not even ending really for her because she's, staying on, she's becoming an architect, and I mean, it suits her. It actually does. So it made sense. And I think that's the thing, because there's like endings or conclusions for characters. And sometimes when you watch other shows, it doesn't make sense for that character to do that. Dexter. So, it's just, it works. And that felt true.
Well, especially with her, because of her character arc, like what she did while she was in the actual good place, which was like do things, learn skills, and do things with her hands. And, she had not done things like that because her life was one of privilege and wealth. And so she didn't have to do that kind of thing, those kind of things. So it was pretty neat to see her, I don't want to say make something of herself, but she added a whole lot of value, to her afterlife because she like learned a bunch of useful skills. So it was, I don't know, it's very fitting for her. You're right about that.
Right.
And even Eleanor, in the end, was still trying to help and still trying to fix and still trying to solve until she was finally ready to go. And oh my gosh, just even how she went, and then her little light, whatever, light spirit or whatever, happened to go back down to earth. And then the cycle, I guess, continues. Just so good.
Now, I'm pretty sure I may have missed a few of the cameos, but definitely Nick Offerman, who I'm wondering if he was playing like himself, because everyone who's in that world has passed on, and maybe he taught Tahani how to, craft the chair, but also Ted Danson's wife, who taught Michael how to play the guitar, and his wife is Mary Virgin.
I forgot that they were married. I knew it was her. Like I was like, oh, that's Mary Steenburgen, but I forgot that they were married. She's from Arkansas. That's how I know her so well too.
Well.
Yeah.
And the guy that Eleanor touched, her spirit or her essence, I feel like he's someone, but I don't know who he is, if he is anyone. Because he just has, I was like, are you one of the writers? Are you like Michael? No, I don't think he's Michael Shore, or Dan Fogel, or I don't know, somebody. He seems like he's someone.
We should ask the Googles about it and see. I bet they would know.
I was going to do that, but I was like just trying to hurry up and get the show started. So I was like, okay, I'll look it up later, or maybe someone will, tweet us and tell us. But yeah, I mean, it definitely well done. I have actually did start the rewatch already, like going back to the beginning, like, wow, look how far
I
we've
know.
come.
I know. I kind of want to I almost want to rewatch the finale, but my emotions, I don't think I'm ready.
A little too
I don't think
too
I'm
much
ready for that.
that.
It's a little too soon.
I will say that I am surprised. I don't know why. Surprise isn't quite the word. I don't know. I guess it's the fact that you do go back and you see things that you didn't know, because obviously how could you know, because they weren't there, but like the fact that Vicky has been there since the beginning. So
yeah, she has. Yep.
Yeah, that's been pretty cool.
I mean, it's very cool that every character had an arc. Like every character just about had an ending. I mean, Mindy, St. James or St. Clair? St. Clair.
Mm-hmm.
St. James. Mindy had an arc, and I mean, we even see Derek. We see, that one guy who went to the fake good place when they were the architects.
Right.
The stupid misogynist
yes.
jerk.
Yes. I mean, I think you see almost all of them, basically. Like you see everyone.
Everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody had kind of a callback, and it's just perfect.
Even Glenn, who blew up. He exploded.
Yes. He was back.
Right. And the fact that time is different in that time where everything is counted as Baramies. So that was cool. Which, I mean, it doesn't make any, well, I was going to say it doesn't make sense, but then again, time just works differently in the afterlife. Let's put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
So it was great. Very well done. But yeah, so that is The Good Place, and I like I said, I'm already started the rewatch, and I will put this on the pantheon of shows that I enjoy and would recommend. And this will be controversial, but in regards to the ending, I think I would put it up there with Lost, because I am one of those people that did enjoy how Lost ended, and I did get a little weepy when that ended. Because I mean, I'm not trying to. Well, I'm already spoiling. We already spoiled The Good Place, but if you have not watched Lost, I feel like it does have a similar finale in a sense. So I feel like I want to put that in a vote of confidence and being like, if you've watched Lost and you liked it and you watch this, it should all kind of, you get the same feels. Because that also deals with death and the afterlife and all that good stuff. So, yeah.
One day I'm going to give Lost another chance, and we're going to be friends, I hope. Because we're not friends right now, but...
You and Lost, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
I watched it when it aired live, and the writer's strike that happened that year really threw me off, because, they weren't airing shows or episodes anymore, and so of Lost. And so I just kind of fell off, and when they came back, I was gone. So one day I'm going to go back to Lost from the beginning, and we're going to give it another shot.
Where did you, what season?
I don't know.
Okay.
I have no idea. I want to say the second, maybe third, maybe first. I don't know.
I'll say if it's the third, I totally understand, because even the writers, well, not even the writers, the creators, they even knew the season isn't going very well. And that's when they learned when the series would be ending. They ended on their terms, as you know, I think. And so, I mean, after, I think you can tell when they decided or when they figured out where the end game was going to be, then that's when things took a turnaround. I'm like, okay, they know where they're going now. So things stopped sucking, and then it got better. So that's what I tell everyone. Season 3 is the worst, but once you make it through, it's, for me anyway, it got great, because then time travel is introduced, other crazy things happen, and it's just great. So yes, I am totally for you giving another try. And if you do, well, I mean, you will, just let me know. And, I'll watch it with you. Are you on episode 4? Okay, let's start it and, do it from there. So we'll figure it out. Yeah. Do you have any shout outs or things and stuff to check out?
Absolutely. Well, if you would like to converse about all things, I don't even know. If you just want to talk, hit me up on the Twitters. You can find me at I am Kay Hinton. I cannot recommend enough the anime Seven Deadly Sins. It's amazing, and I love it. And oh, so good. So I cannot recommend that show enough. It is streaming on Netflix, and if you have not started it, if you don't know much about it, definitely give it a shot. It's incredible.
It has come up a couple times, so.
It's so I'm very new to anime. I watched anime when I was younger, and then I just kind of didn't. I just didn't watch it anymore. But I was reintroduced to the whole anime world, basically, I guess, with this show, somewhat. But I love it, and it's just great. It's awesome. So check it out, and let's talk about it. I have a lot to say.
Maybe I will check it out.
It's so good.
Like I said, it has come up. Like, I don't know if it came up as a recommendation, but at least every once in a while, like they'll have like the anime section if you're scrolling through, and that's usually on there. So maybe because I think I was curious. So I haven't.
Give it a shot. You'll like it.
Yeah, I haven't jumped in any anime in a while. I think the last one I was watching was Attack on Titan. And I know they'd come out with another season, but nope, I lied. It wasn't that one. It was Food Wars or My Hero Academia, which both are good. But I will admit, occasionally I do have an issue with subtitles because I like to multitask. So if there are subtitles, I have to not be doing anything else so I can watch it.
Well, there's the dub. I'm actually watching it. I don't mind subtitles, but for some reason I started watching it with the dubbed version, and I don't do anything while watching it just because it's so good, and like the fight scenes are pretty amazing, and it's just I just watch it. But so they do have the dubbed version available on Netflix.
Okay, cool. But you have this feeling that it'll be entrancing enough that I'll not be doing anything else, just watching it.
I think so. I mean, and the episodes are pretty short, and they're fast paced the whole time. And I mean, it's just so good. So good.
Okay.
Gotta get on it.
It's about due time for me to go through an anime phase again anyway. So
do it.
It's been about a year.
Do it. Oh yeah.
Well,
time.
We shall see. I don't think I have any recommendations. I feel like I do, and I just can't remember what they are. The Onion now has their daily news podcast, so definitely check that out just to help liven up your day with fake news, like literally fake news. So it's
like actual fake news,
right? Like I think I sped through one today, so I really can't even tell you what it was about, but I knew it was comical. I think someone was protesting McDonald's? I don't remember. I really don't remember. I'm sorry. I'm terrible. The other recommendation, I guess, is another new podcast where Laura Lapkus and Nicole Byer are watching Star Wars for the first time. So,
that sounds cool.
Yeah, so it's really interesting, and hearing them discuss it and try to figure out like why so many people like this, and it's interesting because I can see myself watching it through them and being as confused, but it's also one of those things. It's always been like in our zeitgeist, we've always kind of known what Star Wars was or is. So it's interesting watching it or listening it through their eyes or ears, their mouth, whatever. I would love to, because you know how I am about Star Wars. I would definitely give that a shot. the podcast, I mean. Right. Not the movies. I don't know. Wait, have you not seen? Do you not know this about me? I've not seen many I've seen some of them, but I'm not like in the fandom. No. Like you've seen a Star Wars? I have seen a Star Wars. Well, I've seen a couple of Star Wars, so okay. I'm not a complete basic, but yeah, I haven't seen very many of them. I'm not in the fandom. I've seen none of the new ones. So yeah, there's a lot. I completely respect the fandom, and I love the franchise for what it is, but I've just, not participated a whole lot with it. I feel like this is a new vein for me to mine from you that I don't think I've tapped before. So we'll have to come back to this because I definitely know when it comes to Star Wars or Star Trek, I definitely know what side you lean towards, but we never talked about
Totally.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
But we will, and I do have plans in the future to devote an episode to Star Trek because of Star Trekky things that's happening. Yeah, so we'll get to that.
Yeah, it's totally amazing.
Trying to close up.
It deserves.
It does. It does. Oh my God, I'm so excited because I feel like I'm almost done with a new batch of T-shirt designs. I shared a couple with you. I didn't get any feedback yet, but that's okay. We'll talk about it later. Follow me on all things at Indube. Go to Indube.com. Tell someone you value that you value them. Live without regrets and live for the folks you love. Please wash your legs, your face, the bottoms of your feet, the undersides of your dishes. I say that with so much angst, like I'm upset about it. But
I think you are, but are you saying it with the right amount of passion, so it kind of works?
Well, yeah, because people need to be doing this, and it's 2020. Get it together.
Yep.
I've been your benevolent host, T. Sterling Watson, and remember, if the world didn't suck, we'd all fall off.
No.
Yes.
Thanks for listening to the Indube podcast, which was recorded from the south side of Wakanda in Little New Indubia on the corner of T'Chaka and MLK Drive, and is part of the Indube network. Want more Indube? Follow on Instagram and Twitter at Indube and on Facebook at IndubePod. You can contact us and send Ask Indube questions by emailing indubepod@gmail.com. Want to support or donate? Find the T Public Store or become a patron on Patreon, where subscribing gives you perks and extra things from the Indube network. Please subscribe, rate, comment, and share the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play, YouTube, Podbean, and wherever else podcasts are found. And of course, visit Indube.com for all of this and much more. Thank you so much for letting us entertain, enlighten, and provide an auditory escape with knowledge and nonsense. Until next time.
Use your words, Chief. Good boy.
This has been another 3SFX production. What's up, Indubians? You know what I hate? Yes, mushrooms. And yes, I also hate things with glitter on them. It gets on everything forever and ever and ever. Stop it now, please. I also hate paying so much money for car insurance. That's why I switched to Root Insurance. I was paying nearly a farm's worth with some general insurance, and some progressive company quoted me even higher. Truth be told, I feel I'm in better hands with Root Insurance. Plus, I'm paying so much less. How do you get in? Go to j.mp/rootindube. That's j.mp/ROOT-indube. And sign up. If approved, you'll get $50 off. My little special gift to you, because I love you. But please, stop with the glitter.